Andrea, we've got to put these allegations about your leader to you because...
No, but it's The Guardian, isn't it?
Well, it is The Guardian.
And they hate Nigel, don't they?
They may well do, but the paper spoke to a film producer called Peter Ettedgui, who attended school with Mr. Farage, and he said Mr. Farage made anti-Semitic comments towards him, saying Hitler was right, gassed them. The Guardian says it's got allegations from more than a dozen of his school peers recounting deeply offensive behaviour through Nigel's teenage years. He then says he didn't say anything racist or anti-Semitic when he was a teenager. It actually came up in Prime Minister's questions yesterday.
Well, it would do, wouldn't it?
Have a listen.
The opposition would.
Whilst the Labour front bench continue to peddle their own form of dog whistle politics, Reform UK...
Mr. Speaker, he talks about dog whistle. Last week, his leader said he didn't have time to condemn the racist comments of his fellow MP for Runcorn. He also said he didn't have time to condemn his party calling children in care evil. He didn't have time. I wonder if you can ask his leader next door to him whether he's got time for his explanation for the stories in today's papers.
Right, that's a reference to The Guardian yesterday and today. What do you make of it?
No, I mean, I know Nigel. I spoke to him just a bit earlier. And he is not racist. It's so easy to find spurious claims from 50 years ago. It's The Guardian, they hate Nigel. And look, we're going to see more of this because we're leading in the last 150 consecutive polls. The closer that Nigel edges to number 10, we will find more people supposedly coming out of the woodwork. There's no evidence of this, and this is just a smear campaign.
There's evidence in the sense that there are people who are named who are saying it. Let me just give you an example.
No, but
this guy called Jean...
I could say somebody who I went to school with had said this. Well,
where's the proof? It's hearsay. But listen,
absolutely.
Normally when you say things, I tend to believe you because, we know each other. So you could give this guy at least the credit of listening to his account. Jean-Pierre Lihu, who was then a teenager at school with Nigel Farage, who was half German, went to breakfast at Nigel Farage's parents' house, said it was a nice breakfast. And he then found out that Lihu was half German and his birthday was one day before Adolf Hitler's. And he used to stomp around the playground chanting Oswald Mosley, the leader of the British Union of Fascists in the 1930s. And he said Hitler was right and gassed them.
Oh, no,
And then there's some stuff I can't even read out on the TV.
I find that very hard to believe. I know Nigel and, I don't believe that whatsoever.
It's not just hijinks, teenage...
Knowing Nigel, I just don't believe that.
Okay, what do you think? I mean, it is a long time ago.
Well, I think that just denying, deflecting, this approach to say that they're just after us in a smear campaign, that we are going to hear a lot of that from the Reform Party when these sorts of allegations come out. I think it's horrible to think that that's what his schoolmates endured.
Have you seen the language in it?
Yeah, I mean, I was reading
this. But people get accused of things all the time when they're innocent as well. There's so many politically motivated
it's not a surprise
campaigns,
for people, though, Andrea.
But we don't know what this guy
has a lot of questionable positions. It might not be openly racist, but it's there in your policies. The main thing you guys are always going on about is immigration and asylum seekers
illegal
constantly.
Migration. It's about putting the British people and the taxpayers
of the queue. The thing I would say is, unfortunately, I'm not surprised by this. He did actually in 2013, apparently Channel 4 put some of these allegations to him then, and he said Farage admitted saying some ridiculous things. So he's sort of semi-admitted it before, though he said that depends how you define racism, which, I mean...
The point the other thing is, this is again in a way an argument against you both, because one of the other pupils, Ettedgui, says he would sidle up to me and growl Hitler was right or gas them. Ettedgui seems to have some Jewish heritage, and Farage is accused of saying things like Judah, which is the German word for Jew. However, Farage now and his party you would almost describe as being pro-Israel.
Well, we are.
So how does that
Absolutely.
stack up?
No, I was on a board meeting.
Hang on a minute, I was asking Pfizer because you're saying their current position suggests this is true, but their current position is the opposite of this.
Well, I mean, I think it's important not to confuse, just overlap being pro-Israel and supporting Israel and saying that you're pro-Jewish, because a lot of Jewish people don't agree with the actions of the Israeli government and don't believe in the way that country works.
But he's not anti-Semitic at this point in his life.
Well, he could still be anti-Semitic, but he is politically in his favour to support Israel. You don't know. The thing I would say about this is that as a strategy for Keir Starmer, one, they've got a bit of a cheat, because it's true that Labour Party is playing into some of the same rhetoric that the Reform uses on asylum seekers.
They stood you down, didn't they?
Well, I was told I wasn't allowed to talk about my experiences of Islamophobia within the Labour Party. So they've got a cheek, really. But as a strategy to call out reform, which needs to happen where things, people don't agree, this isn't going to work, actually. If they think that this is going to turn people off reform, I just don't think it's going to work.
You may well be right. It may be a
But I was at a board meeting last week with Nigel. I'm on the board, Reform board, and he is, pro-supporting the Jewish community, and he is not.
Well, even the Jewish people that support
who...
Palestine.
But he is pro the Jewish community, pro-Israel, and this is a load of rubbish.
Okay. On that topic, in the Daily Mail today, nearly half of Britons think the UK is unsafe for Jewish people, so I wanted to mention this. And that's coming after the Heaton Park synagogue attack. So that's nothing to do with the Farage story. It's more just a concerning situation, Faiza.
Yeah, and there's also, I think for a lot of people in this country feel unsafe, and actually the idea of having a Nigel Farage Prime Minister is worrying because of the sorts of people that support him, and we saw it with
the sorts of people. So are you saying this about me then?
No, I think that all of the stuff that's happened, say with the Tommy Robinson march, which meant I changed my plans that day in London because I felt like it made.
Interestingly, Farage didn't go to that.
No, he didn't go to that.
He had a choice to go, and he didn't go.
But it's part of the same push.
What the flag?
It's not what
the
rubbish.
flaggy thing.
What, just because you're proud to be British?
No, that's not. I'm proud to be British.
That's ridiculous.
Really
no way.
To going out at that march, people were saying openly Islamophobic things, racist.
Well,
things.
I wasn't at the march, so, but you're trying to say that
same political movement. Come on.
No, what rubbish? You're saying that? No, we are. A patriotic party. We speak up for men and women across the country who feel that they've been silenced by the system.
Okay.
So, we are pro-Britain, and we want to put our people at the top of the queue for a change. And what's wrong with that? The British taxpayers have had enough.